to consider an application by the ABS Baird Solar LLC to build and operate a solar energy system with an expected nameplate capacity of approximately 4.5 megawatts AC on parcels of land located within the town at 4360 Oak Orchard Road, LD, New York, and identified as SBL numbers 95.1-61.111 and 95.1-61.12, consisting of approximately 27 acres of land in the aggregate, and to consider the town's negative declaration of environmental impact for the proposed project, dated July 19, 2021, Morning Beach Town Clerk. Okay, we have Adam from ABS who is here, and you can take the ball from here now.
Okay. Sure, so I'll just go by the images up here if that's okay. General, try to keep it as brief as I can, but overview of the project. So what we have up here are essentially two plans, one electrical, one civil, outlining the details, setbacks, et cetera, related to the proposed project. So what we are proposing is a 4.5 megawatt AC community solar project. And as you correctly stated, the approximate size of the project is 27 acres. The project is a single axis tracking project in that the modules will actually be affixed to a racking system that will allow modules to physically rotate throughout the day. There is a proposed access road, which you will see is fairly far from Old Orchard Road. This is because our property is defined as a utility scale solar energy system pursuant to kind of very local law. And I'll use the acronym USSES to save all the words. But USSES is permitted only in agricultural residential zone districts. And along Old Orchard Road, basically from the center line 500 feet back is zoned as business. And the remaining portions of the parcels are zoned as agricultural residential, which is why we have cited the project as such. Additionally, the point interconnection. So basically, the project will convert power, will collect power from the individual modules. The electrons will physically run to these two centralized equipment packs. This is where we have our inverters that actually change the energy from direct current to alternating current. Also have step-up transformers located here in these central pads, which will actually step up the voltage from 480 volts, which is the output of the inverter, to 13.2 kV, which is the interconnection voltage with National Grid along the Orchard Road. So the power will physically be delivered to National Grid's existing infrastructure along Orchard Road. Pause there and see if any questions, concerns, comments that I can give further to something.
Can you just point out where, because like from here I can't really see, no, it's okay, the parcels, because one of the things in our zoning is that 75% of the parcels, it can't cover more than that in lot size. So can you just kind of outline, like even with your finger, maybe on there, but I can't see the parcels.
Yeah, I'll try to use this one a little bit closer to you, Carrie, but basically what you see here, this kind of bolded semi-dashed line is the actual parcel boundary. So as you can see, it actually extends past the page here. I believe off the top of my head, the parcels are actually, in aggregate, they're about 92 acres, if I recall correctly, in this form. And as I said before, as you accurately pointed out, there are reasons this project actually spans two physical parcels. So unfortunately, you cannot see the final demarcation on a specific plot where the property line actually extends to, but I can tell you it extends very far into this, basically left or west of the page. And the interparcel line that essentially separates the two northern and southern parcels essentially extends. It's not currently shown directly on this plan, but it essentially extends almost to the center. You see the kind of peach colored areas in the existing drainage district that the parcel line largely
Goes on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can tell you that we are definitely within the required plot number.
Perfect. Okay. I want to see if I have other questions, but I want other people to have the opportunity to ask questions.
I had a question. When would you want to start on this project?
Start construction
Yes.
as soon as possible. That being said, we are very considerate of obviously needing to follow the process here with you all as the town board to get a vote on the application, and also being considerate of weather. So as we all know, it's as it's August, but the winter months will soon be upon us. And for things like driving piles, which this project will require the racking system to physically be driven into the ground. So things like ground freeze really would come into play. So I think depending upon whenever a final vote on the application is actually made, we will make the final determination, in terms of what really does make sense given weather conditions. Where we sit today, we'd love to start construction in toward the end of 2021, but obviously understand we need to get through the process here. Also need to enter into EPC contracts with with a EPC partner to actually build the project for us. Both of which take time. So, I think right now we really would love to get in, start construction before the end of the year, but in all likelihood, to be realistic, probably March, April, could really be the time that we're at when the actual pile driving and that construction can show up.
All right, I'll toss in another one of mine.
Yeah.
So I know that there really aren't that many houses in the vicinity, but can you just put everyone's mind at ease as far as glare, Route 98, all of that stuff? Just kind of touch base on that.
Yes, absolutely. Glare is fairly common, common concern that is raised with projects such as ours. Couple things to note here. One, the panels are actually made with an anti-reflective coating, as the panels themselves are designed to capture and convert as much sunlight as possible into energy, right? So any of that glare that comes back is essentially lost energy. So we really, module manufacturers along with ourselves as developers, really are keen on trying to capture as much energy from the sun as we potentially can. So outside the anti-reflective coating, as you can kind of see here, which is, I'll maybe just put this up a little bit. This is our proposed landscape plan, of which it includes down.
Yeah.
But as you can see, essentially, maybe not from there, very small, but we are proposing the landscaping plan essentially parallel with Oak Orchard Road. So we essentially have trees and shrubs proposed along this section, basically this entire northern section, entire southern section. The only exception there too would really be the access road, which is it's a 20-foot wide access road. So in terms of the overall coverage, it's a fairly minimal part of the overall project that would be viewable from Oak Orchard Road.
And you were talking about, and I know we've talked about this before, and I guess you talked about like maintenance and making sure that the landscaping that's done stays green, keeps growing, so that it actually does provide that view shed that we're looking for, or like the coverage to protect the view shed. So can you talk about your plans for maintenance, for maintaining and making sure that those trees survive and really thrive? We need them to do well.
Absolutely, yes. And so we have submitted an operation maintenance plan as part of the application package, which does provide further detail around what the plans would be. Essentially to summarize, we will be regularly coming out to the site to ensure that not only just the vegetation, but grass, etc., beneath the panels are actually growing and taking. We understand it's a requirement for the project to essentially be screened. So at any one of our preventative maintenance trips to go out there to ensure that these things are, that the plantings are in fact taking and growing, these will be a regular check-in to ensure that they're taking. If any of the vegetation is shown or is noticed to be dying, disease, will be replaced in kind for the duration of the problem. So it's a very important point. We know that this, that we want to keep the view shed as it is, and it will be a top priority of ours to ensure that anything we are proposing here, not just the landscaping vegetation, but also the seed grass mixes beneath the area of our property. And another important point here I want to note as well, but by the time this project is AES will very likely, most likely be the operation maintenance services internally versus
Okay.
using third-party services.
Cool.
From 98 to the beginning of where the panel's actually gonna be, how far?
How far west of Woodward Road?
Yes.
Yeah. Give me 1 second here. I know it's 500 feet too. I believe it's 500 feet of the first row of tables.
Okay.
At a minimum, it would be, that would be the minimum distance, because I know that the business district, extends 500 feet out. The minimum distance to the panel would be 500, couldn't be greater than that, something in the neighborhood of 550 feet, if that distance is actually the fence line. Off the top of my head, if that was the fence line of the first row of panels, but it will be no more, or no less than 500.
Was the operations and maintenance plan, was that sent in the file with the link in it, or was that separate?
It should have been in the link as well.
Okay.
As our document material.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna have to.
I'm not sure. I know there's been a lot of.
Right. Well, I'm just thinking. I was like, I know a lot of this application I read through a month ago, and I was skimming over it today again, but I was like, I didn't remember the operations maintenance. I just want to make sure that I read through that if I haven't yet.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I know it had been submitted. I'm not sure exactly.
I don't think it's in. I don't think it's in hard copy. Okay. Okay.
Could I request that you send us a copy, because I was looking today for the O and M also.
Okay.
And I could not locate it.
Okay.
Through all my electronic files.
Absolutely.
So if you could please just send us another copy, I'd really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yes, no problem at all. No problem.
How many other projects has AES done in the Western New York area, solar projects?
Great question. That number seems to be ever changing.
Right, of course.
Especially with the, with our recent merger with our sister company here, AES Power, but projects such as this, of this scale. In Western New York, we have approximately, the last time I had checked, it was 11 projects, that were either in construction or physically in operation. So projects that had already been built. Now that's just, steel in the ground, modules in the ground. We do have, have plenty more than that currently in active development. And another point too, I will make there, Carrie, is that some of these projects come in various different methods. So what do I mean when I say that? Essentially, the project we're proposing here today was self-originated within AES. AES also has a very, I call it, select group of development partners that we really partner with to essentially acquire projects at various stages. So some of those projects that I referenced earlier in Western New York were developed by third-party shops, not necessarily AES, but AES is the long-term owner operator of those facilities.
Of available farmland on the 2 tracks, what percentage is going into panels?
So the total project area is 27 acres. About 2 acres of that is currently wooded. So we're talking 19 approximately.
Out of how many?
There are, between the 2 parcels, I know that there are 92 acres total, but not all that is
Farmable.
There's 40 acres of census.
Any other questions? Comments?
I have another question, sorry. So how often, like complaint resolution wise, on your other projects, how often are you getting complaints? How are you resolving them? That aspect. If you can just briefly touch on that.
Sure. Yeah, good question. Well, one point I will just make specific to this project, which is not necessarily the same case with other projects, but this project specifically is looking to the benefit agreement. We are actually setting up a telephone hotline to essentially receive, basically leave the burden to AES for construction or operation maintenance, not necessarily to you all having dealing with phone calls related to construction impacts or otherwise. But of our, I can gladly say, of our self-originated projects, Gary, we've had no complaints to date as we are still
Okay.
Not yet broken ground to start construction. The difficult part for me to really articulate for the other projects that we're doing by, other developers is really hard for me to be that close to it as it was really, originated, but I originated elsewhere, but I can tell you for our self-originated project, again, with construction, hasn't physically occurred yet. We will receive, no formal, correspondence or review.
From the first pylon to the end, and it's completed, how long do you figure that would be? If you get good weather,
The construction period?
yeah.
Approximately 4 to 6 months.
Okay.
So compared to useful life of these plants is 25, 30 years. Overall grand scheme of things, it's all we understand is, it is a real time and a real impact, but it's, the grand scheme of things, it's a fairly, minimal impact compared to the lifetime of the project. Even when the project is constructed, foot traffic will be very, very minimal. They typically have a guy in a 4x4 showing up, doing such as preventive maintenance, traffic needs, ensure that the vegetation is taken. And in terms of noise, the reason we actually have these two centralized equipment pads is really to help minimize that noise. We have to put them within the center of the array itself. Um, these things are really no louder than similar to a transformer. Driving down the road, seeing bolt-off transformers, seeing ground-mounted transformers. The most amount of sound or impact you're going to have in this project is actually in operation. It is going to be purely just that kind of low humming sound. At decibel level, it's really similar to similar to like breeze or wind flow for wildlife out in the back. So it's like 30, 35 decibels. Approximate noise level right at this location, and it's centrally located to help mitigate that.
And what is the distance from those to the residences in the area?
Sure. So let me bring this one back up. So we do have this actually detailed off the closest resident. We just detailed out the closest measurement, which is 350 from the nearest well. And the resident just to the north, a resident just to the north of that northeast of the road.
And Sean, we sent out for this public hearing notices to everybody within 500 feet of the project, right?
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite hear you.
Sorry. We sent out letters to everyone within 500 feet of the project,
Yes.
the owning property.
So I do know our landowner who's also here. One of them there did receive that.
Great.
Yeah, I talked much to Dave, like all of that.
Perfect. That's great. Is there going to be artificial lighting for this project? Okay.
There will be temporary during construction.
Right. Okay. That's what I thought, but I didn't remember reading anything on it.
Sure, no problem. There's a lot of information here, so no problem. It really means during construction, I think the use of lighting really
Limited.
Don't really anticipate a lot of impact from that video. I believe actually for the secret form, we were limited to 77.
Right. Yeah. And not on Sundays. Right. On Sundays. Right, I think that answered all the questions that I had.
Any others? Any comments? Okay. And this to a close? If, yeah, if I could so kindly have someone
I move we close the public hearing.
second,
I'll second.
all in favor,
Aye.
opposed? So carried. Thank you, everyone.